Hello everyone, and welcome back to Slow English Stories. I am Leo, and I am so happy you are here today. In this video, we are going to learn English through a very touching story called The Empty Chair. Learning with stories is the best way to improve your vocabulary and grammar because you see how words are used in real life. If you are ready to improve your English, please hit the subscribe button and let's start our journey. The rain was falling softly against the glass of the Golden Leaf Cafe. Inside, the air was warm and filled with the aroma of roasted coffee and sweet cinnamon. The word aroma means a pleasant or beautiful smell, usually from food or drink. This is a great word to use when you are in a kitchen or a garden. In the corner of the cafe, the clatter of spoons stopped for a moment. Clatter is a word we use for the sound of hard objects, like plates or forks, hitting each other. An old man named Mr. Julian walked in. He was a regular visitor. A regular is a person who goes to the same place very often. Mr. Julian walked slowly to a small table by the window. Notice that we use the word walked with an ed at the end. This is the simple past tense. We use it because the action happened and finished in the past. He sat down and waited. He looked at the door with hope in his eyes. The waitress, a kind girl named Maya, walked to his table. A waitress is a woman who works in a restaurant and brings food to people. The usual, Mr. Julian, she asked softly. Maya felt a bit sad. She ordered the tea. To order means to ask for something in a shop or cafe. In this sentence, ordered is also in the simple past tense. The 2 cups of tea arrived. The steam rose from the cups. Steam is the hot mist or smoke you see rising from hot water. The tea was sitting there, getting cold. 1 cup was in front of Julian. The other cup was in front of an empty chair. Julian began to speak to the empty chair. He whispered secrets and laughed quietly. The other people in the cafe looked at him. They were curious. When you are curious, you want to know more about something or someone. Why does he do that every day? A young man whispered. The chair is empty. There is nobody there. Maya looked at the young man and said, There is a story behind that chair. A story of a promise made many years ago.
Maya walked slowly to Mr. Julian's table. She hesitated for a moment. To hesitate means to pause or stop before doing something because you are a little nervous or unsure. But her curiosity was stronger than her fear. Mr. Julian, Maya asked softly, who is the second cup of tea for? Mr. Julian smiled a very sad, gentle smile. He looked at the empty chair, and then he looked at Maya. It is for my beautiful wife, Clara, he said quietly. We made a promise exactly 50 years ago. A promise is when you tell someone you will definitely do something, and you will not break your word. 50 years ago, Mr. Julian continued, I was a young soldier. I had to go far away across the ocean. Notice the words had to go. This is a great grammar point. We use had to show obligation in the past. It means he did not have a choice, it was necessary for him to leave. It was raining heavily that day, just like today, he said, looking at the gray sky outside the window. By saying was raining, he is using the past continuous tense. We use this tense to describe a background action that was happening over a period of time in the past. It helps us feel the mood of that rainy day. Clara and I sat at this exact table, Julian remembered. When it was time for me to go to the train station, she held my hands. She looked into my eyes and said, Julian, I will wait for you right here, every Friday morning at 10 o'clock, until you come back home." A cold wind blew outside, and the cafe window rattled. To rattle means to make a series of short, sharp shaking sounds, like glass moving in the wind. Maya felt a cold chill on her arms. "Did you come back to her, Mr. Julian?" Maya asked, her voice shaking a little. "I did," he whispered. "I survived. But when I returned 3 years later, she was not sitting here. I waited all day. The next Friday, I came again. And the next. Later, I found out the terrible truth. She caught a very bad illness while I was away. She passed away just 1 week before I returned." Maya felt a tear fall down her cheek. The cafe was completely silent. "But I still keep our promise," Julian said, touching the cold teacup in front of the empty chair. "I come here every Friday. But something strange happened yesterday." Julian slowly put his hand inside his old coat pocket. He pulled out a small, yellow envelope. "I received this letter in my mailbox. And the handwriting on the envelope, it belongs to Clara." Mr. Julian's hands were trembling as he opened the envelope. To tremble means to shake slightly, usually because you are cold, afraid, or very excited. Julian was very emotional, so his hands could not stay still. He took out the paper. The ink was old and a bit faded. When something is faded, it means the color has become light or less bright because it is very old. Even though the ink was light, the message was clear. "My dearest Julian," he read aloud. "If you are reading this, it means you have finally come home. I am writing this from my hospital bed. I am very weak, but I want to tell you that I have never stopped loving you." Look at the phrase, "have never stopped." This is the present perfect tense. We use have / as plus past participle to talk about something that started in the past and is still true now. Her love started 50 years ago and never ended. Maya listened, her heart beating fast. "What was her final wish, Mr. Julian?" Julian looked at the last line of the letter. "She says, Julian, do not be sad at the empty chair. I will always be sitting there with you, even if you cannot see me. But please, one day, invite a lonely stranger to sit in my chair. Share our story of love, so that love can live forever." We use will plus verb, will always be, to talk about the future tense. Clara was making a promise for the future. Suddenly, a young girl walked into the cafe. She looked tired and was shivering from the cold rain. She looked around the crowded cafe, but there were no seats left. She looked very lonely. Lonely is the feeling you have when you are alone and you feel a bit sad because you want to be with other people. Mr. Julian looked at Maya, then at the girl, and finally at the empty chair. He smiled. For the first time in 50 years, he did not look sad. He stood up and beckoned to the girl. To beckon means to signal to someone with your hand to tell them to come closer. "Excuse me, young lady," Julian said kindly. "This seat is reserved for a friend, but I think she would want you to sit here. Would you like a cup of hot tea and a story?" The girl smiled, sat down, and the empty chair was empty no more. The promise was kept, and a new friendship began. Leo, wow, what a beautiful and powerful ending. Mr. Julian finally found peace by sharing his love with someone else. This shows us that even when someone is gone, their love can still change the world. Did you like this story? What was your favorite new word today? Was it aroma, tremble, or beckon? Tell me in the comments. If you want to keep practicing your English with me, make sure to like this video and share it with your friends who are learning English. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss a new story on Slow English Stories. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next story. Goodbye.